The Chicago Bulls made a big move this offseason, trading Jimmy Butler for Zach Lavine, Lauri Markkanen, and Chris Dunn. Now, at first, I wasn't too happy about this trade, as I really wanted Markelle Fultz for Butler, but after thinking about it, I got really excited to have the next Vince Carter on my team. Now, don't worry, I wouldn't make this video without some evidence to back up my claim. Vince Carter from 1998 to 2008 was one of the league's top players. He was mostly known for dunking, and to most people, including myself, Vince is the greatest dunker of all time. And Vince is behind what is probably the greatest dunk in the history of basketball, where in the Olympics, Vince jumped over a 7-footer and threw it down. And he was the winner of one of the greatest dunk contests of all time. But Vince wasn't just a dunker. In his 13 best seasons, Vince shot 37.4% from 3 on 4.1 attempts per game. Vince was also a great ball handler, a very solid playmaker, averaging 4.2 assists in his 13 seasons as a star. And as a scorer, 24 points per game in those 13 seasons, and he scored a lot in a similar way to Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. AKA, there were a lot of post-ups and a lot of mid-range jumpers. So Vince was a super athlete, a high-volume three-point shooter, a solid playmaker, and created his own shots. He did this as a first option on the Raptors and the Nets. Now in comparison, Zach Lavine is also a freakish athlete and an amazing dunker. And like VC, Lavine was the winner of one of the greatest dunk contests of all time. And I just want to quickly say that Zach Lavine didn't rob Aaron Gordon. Maybe Gordon should have won, but Lavine still threw down some of the best dunks in NBA dunk contest history. So he didn't rob him. That would imply that Gordon did way better than him, which he didn't. Anyways, Lavine, like Air Canada, is not just a dunker. He's also a high-volume three-point shooter, and an efficient one, shooting 38% from 3 on 4.8 attempts per game in his career per 36 stats. And he's also shown an ability to create for himself, but it's not as common for him, as the league has moved away from isolation mid-range shooting. There is one big disparity between these two, and that's the stats. Lavine for his career only averages 13.7 points per game, but there are two very good reasons for that. First of all, VC from day one on the Raptors was the first option, while Lavine in his rookie season was the second option to Andrew Wiggins, and a third option in his second and third seasons behind Wiggins and Towns. But in his third season, as a third option, Lavine averaged 13.9 points per game. Again, as a third option. Most of his shots came off of the ball, so he wasn't able to create for himself much. So now on the Bulls, as a first option this season, I expect Lavine to average 25 plus points and 5 or 6 assists, because also being used as an off-ball player, that meant that he didn't get to average a lot of assists, just 3.2 for his career. But with the ball in his hands this season, he will have plenty of opportunities to get assists. Lavine is in a very similar position to James Harden when he was on the Thunder. As a result of being on a really talented team, like Harden, he wasn't able to produce at a star level. But now that he's been traded, I expect Lavine to produce all-star numbers, potentially being an all-star by his second season on the Bulls. And being only 22, he could be the Bulls franchise shooting guard for 10 plus seasons. That's the end of this video. Please be sure to like and subscribe for more daily NBA content like this, and cue the outro music.
I dare you play your cards, boy, you bet I'm a trendsetter too. Fire when the strobe hits you.
What's it, Brian?